I'm so excited. I've got a great video for you today. Today we're going to talk about what to do if you want to have a YouTube channel, but you are terrified of being on camera. How you can get over that, how you can start growing your YouTube channel without fainting from being so scared. So before we get started, I just want to introduce myself. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Maria. I am a serial entrepreneur and a business coach, and I love to help people start their very first business. Or if you've been going for a while and things aren't going real well and you want to level up to the next level, I can help you with that too. So let's talk about YouTube. If you're in business, or even if you're just doing it for fun, a lot of people want to have a YouTube channel, and especially in business, it's considered part of a well-rounded marketing plan, right? So you think you need to have this YouTube channel, and yet you're terrified of being on camera. If you're like me, I don't even like to have my picture taken. I would rather be behind the scenes taking the pictures than be in the pictures. I was like that for years and years. So how did I start to get comfortable being on YouTube, and how can you do the same? Well, first of all, I just want to tell you, you're never going to be 100% comfortable. I'm not. I'm much better than I was, and most of the time I can do a video without a hitch, but there are times that I hit record and I don't know what to say, like I'm tongue-tied and I just can't figure it out, even though I practiced a whole bunch of times before. And so that does happen, and I know people who've even been on major stages with millions of people watching on video, and they can still get really nervous and afraid. That stage fright is real, and it never 100% goes away. So it's okay to feel uncomfortable. Expect it and know that it's just part of the deal. The second thing is, you don't have to be perfect. You know, if you're like me, you're just getting started. You don't have some Hollywood set. You don't have camera people and wardrobe and makeup and all that kind of stuff. It's just you with your cell phone, maybe a light off to the side or something, but that's it. And you're not expected to be perfect, and that's actually a good thing. Because think about this. I'm teaching you how to be okay with being on YouTube. You might be teaching somebody how to do something, and if you come off as some super polished Hollywood expert, you're not going to be in their league. They're going to think this person's like way above my level, and they're going to tune you out because they just don't think that they can get there. But if you're a normal person on your cell phone like I am, in front of it, just talking about what to do, you're going to have a lot more credibility with your audience because you're a lot closer to being just like them. Does that make sense? All right. The other thing is, your first videos are going to suck. They're just going to be bad. I found on my hard drive about 6 months ago a video that I had done, like the very first video that I ever did that was going to be on the internet. And it was back in 2007. And oh my gosh, it was horrible. First of all, the camera that I had was bad. The technology was different back then. That was a long time ago. And I think I had a 2-megapixel camera. So it was real grainy. And I was reading off a script, and I was really, really stilted, and it was terrible. It was bad. In fact, if I remember right, it was so bad that I took it down. I was using it for an opt-in page, and my coach at the time said that I would get more opt-ins if I had video. I got no opt-ins with the video. It was that bad. So I took it down and just put an audio up instead. But your first videos are going to be really bad because you're new, you don't know what you're doing, you're nervous, you don't really want to be there, and so just expect that. So all right, let's get to the good stuff. What can you do to start getting over your fear of being on video? Like, how can you make it easier for yourself? So the first thing that I want you to do, and this is like homework, so you got an assignment, is the next time you're in your car, I want you to take your phone and record video while you're driving. So what you need is one of those little phone like stand gizmos. Mine clips to my vent, but there's some that goes on a mirror too, or like suction cup ones, so that you can actually see your face. And you're going to want to put the front camera on, see your face, and just hit record while you're driving. And I just want you to talk for maybe about 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, about anything that you want. It doesn't matter. You can rehearse for something you're going to be doing at work. You can talk about how to make a peanut butter sandwich. You can go over that argument that you had last night. You know, I do that a lot. I go back over discussions or arguments. You can give directions to where you're going. You can do a grocery list. You can do whatever you want. Doesn't matter what you talk about. And I just want you to talk for 5 to 10 minutes and then turn it off. And then when you get home, I want you to replay that video and watch it. And the reason that I say do it when you're by yourself is because it's not quite so embarrassing and you're not going to be distracted. So I want you to watch it when you're at home, and I want you to watch it, here's the key, at least 15 to 20 times. And here's what's going to happen. First of all, you're probably not going to like what you see at first, and that's okay. But about 10 times in, you're not going to care as much anymore. Like, it won't be so awful. And by the 15th to 20th time, you're going to be bored. And so I really want you to get to the point where you're bored with your own video, because that means that you're not disgusted anymore. You don't care as much. It's not as big of a deal. And I want you to do this every day for a week. And the whole purpose of this assignment is to get yourself more comfortable with seeing and hearing yourself, because hearing is a lot of it too. I don't know, the first time I heard my voice recorded, I was maybe 10 or 11. My dad had this tape recorder and he'd go around at parties and tape everyone. And I didn't like it. It sounded really weird, like this wasn't me. And the thing is that the voice that we hear coming out of us is different than the voice that other people hear. So the first time you hear yourself, it doesn't sound like you. But after you've heard yourself for a while, it sounds pretty much the same. Like, you lose that differentiation. It's not so big of a deal. So for 1 week, this is what I want you to do. Just like I said, 5 to 10 minutes video in your car. You could also do it at your house or somewhere that you're just by yourself and you're not going to be bothered. And then watch it at least 10 to 20 times. 15 to 20 times actually is better. Okay, that's week 1. Week 1. Now, after you've done that, we got a week 2 assignment. On week 2, I want you to do the same thing, but I want you to record a 1-minute video, 30 seconds to 1 minute. And I want you to say the same thing. You can introduce yourself. You could say, okay, real quick, here's how you make a peanut butter sandwich. You could give directions to something. It doesn't matter, but you want it to be 30 seconds to 1 minute. And this, again, is just for you. Then I want you to record it over again. And I want you to record it 15 to 20 times. All right? And then when you get home or when you get to some place where you can watch it over again, I want you to watch each one in succession. And what you're probably going to notice is there's a variation in how you record it. You're not saying exactly the same thing each time. You know, you're not standing or sitting in the same place. Your expression will be different. You might make mistakes at different parts of the video. And then what I want you to do is pick out your favorites and your least favorites. So some of them are going to be really bad. Some of them are going to be really good. Some of them you'll be like, wow, I did that. And usually what you're going to find is the ones in the middle are the best. Because here's what happens. In the beginning, when you do your first couple recordings or takes, you're probably nervous. You're probably messing up. If you're like me, I'll hit record, I won't know what to say, and I'll just hit stop. So I'll have like 3 or 4 like 2 or 3 second videos in the beginning. But then I'll get going and I'll, be able to get farther and farther through it. So what you'll probably find is your first few are really awful. And you'll probably find that your last few are pretty awful because you're getting sick of doing it. And you're just like over it already. You're like, come on, I'm done. But the ones in the middle are probably the best because you've relaxed, you kind of got your momentum going, you're doing really good, and then you're going to have like your best take ever, and then it's kind of going to go downhill after that. So that's what I want you to do for week 2, okay? For week 3, I want you to film a short video with the intention of putting it online. You don't have to do this you don't have to actually put it on YouTube, but you're actually gonna pretend like you're going to. So you're doing it with the intent of putting it online. And I want you to make it between 2 and 4 minutes long. And I want you to make it how to do something. All right, so you're giving directions for something. Can be anything from a business tip to, how to ice a cake to how to sew a button on, whatever you want to do. It doesn't really matter. This is just for you. And I want you to do maybe 3 to 5 takes or until you start to feel comfortable. And then I want you to look over those and pick the best one out of the deal. And then think about it. Watch it over and over. Watch it like at least 10 times. Think about how you feel about it. You're probably going to feel a lot better by this time than you did when you did the first ones a couple weeks ago. And I want you to consider if you would put that on YouTube. Now, here's the thing. If you're feeling brave, I want you to put it on YouTube. If you're not feeling brave, I still want you to put it on YouTube, but I want you to make it a private or unlisted video, because that means nobody will see it but you. But that act of actually uploading it and putting it on YouTube and knowing it's there and being able to go to YouTube and watch it, that's like huge. That is like getting over a huge hurdle. So if you make it unlisted, then people can see it if you give them the link. So if you're okay with your video, then I want you to take the next step and give the link to a trusted friend. A friend who can watch it and give you feedback, and hopefully one that's not really critical. And I want you to have them watch the video, because then you've taken the next step and you've shared that video with somebody. So somebody else in the world has seen it, and that is another huge hurdle you have to get over. I want you to continue doing that. Do it 2 or 3 times a week until you have a few of those videos up there, a few friends who have looked at them, and you're feeling more comfortable. And then you can decide, okay, I've got these up here, my friends have looked at them, they're cool. Am I willing to make this video public? Public, that means everyone can see it. So if you're ready to do that, then go ahead and make it public, and go ahead and post it to maybe your Facebook page, the link, or to Twitter, or send it in an email, or just tell people about it. And you're going to feel a huge sense of relief because you got your first video up. It's now public. People can see it. You didn't die. You didn't melt. And gosh darn it, you don't look as bad as you thought. Then you can continue doing it the same way, putting more content out, making it unlisted if you're uncomfortable, and then making it public later. Or you can go straight to public. And what you're going to find is you feel better and better about it, and you do better and better about it. And pretty soon, you're going to be totally fine with just getting on camera and throwing stuff up on YouTube in a couple hours. No problem at all. So a few tips about scripts, because people have asked me about that too. Well, how do you know what to say? Isn't it scripted? When I first got started, I would do bullet points, because a script is too stilted to me. I don't like to read right off of script. So I would take 3 or 4 major bullet points, print them really big on a piece of paper, and tape them up to the wall right behind my camera so I could glance over and see what I wanted to talk about. And when you're doing a video with actual, real content, not just talking to yourself, that can help you an awful lot not lose track and feel more comfortable. So that's something to remember for that. But I wouldn't say scripted, because you're just going to be too stiff, and it's not going to look good, and you're not going to be happy with the result. So those are my tips for how to not be afraid, not be terrified of being on video, and also a little bit at the end about how to not totally script it. I hope you found it helpful. If you would like to put your unlisted video up and share the link with me, I will be so happy to provide feedback. Very positive feedback. I'm a very positive person about stuff like that. So I would love to help you out with that. Try my assignments, see how they work, see how they make you feel, and I bet you will find it's so much easier to put stuff on YouTube. So that's it for today. If you like this channel, then please subscribe so you can get more videos just like this, and I will see you in the next video.